Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, I'm really excited for today's video for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've tried starting this 3 times and I don't know what is wrong with me. I am in a particular shade of odd today and I don't know, I feel like I'm in such a good mood that I keep like losing my train of thought. So today's video, girl, I don't know what direction we're gonna go in, but it's gonna be a good fun one. We're gonna play with some makeup and we are doing a full face of L'Oreal, which I'm very excited about because I really wanted to start off doing a full face. I wanted it to be drugstore and I wanted to be able to pull as much stuff as I had on my shelf. And I love so many things from L'Oreal. As you're gonna hear, there is some stuff from L'Oreal that I don't like, which is why it's not in here. And I wanted to make use, like I said, of products I already had, so I'm gonna repurpose an item or two. And I'm just gonna do everything that I can to make this entire video be fun and smooth and lighthearted, and really bring back that aspect of drugstore makeup. Because I feel like drugstore makeup has such a negative connotation attached to it. Like, it just has so many, like, oh, I got this from the drugstore. And I do feel like there are some items from every drugstore brand, regardless of which one you go with, that yes, they're not that great. They are subpar. They do have, you know, whatever in them that you don't like. But I really wanted to just touch on so many different little things, have fun, and do drugstore. And I had so much L'Oreal. Now, there are, of course, going to be other brands coming. Hello Elf is going to be up soon. And we're just going to dive into today's video and have a good time. That's the whole point of today's deal. Have a good time, play with some drugstore, and live your life. So we're gonna go ahead and kick off primer with this guy right here. Now, this is actually the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer, but this is a primer shot. And I just wanted to include this one because I thought it was a super interesting fun fact or division about L'Oreal. It's a really nice, light, very thin viscosity, soaks right in. And I like to take just a little bit and kind of pat it onto my T-zone. But this is, like I said, a primer shot. And I bought this from a company called FeelUnique, which is actually, I believe, Europe's largest online retailer for cosmetics. And I just wanted to throw this in the beginning of the video. If you're like me and you've ever been curious about other countries or what brands that we typically think of as like a US drugstore brand, what they release overseas, FeelUnique is a great website to check out. Or if there's like, hey, I really like this primer, but maybe it's a little too much, which for me is the case. The L'Oreal Pro Matte, the one in the white tube, I don't really like that. It's a little bit too mattifying for me. I don't like how it sits on the skin. It feels a little bit too heavy. But I really like this one, which is from FeelUnique, which is from the European side of L'Oreal. And I thought it was really cool just that there is that other option. Now, obviously, it's not something you can just like run to the drugstore and get, but I wanted to include it just in case you guys are ever like me and you're like curious, you're into that sort of thing. So I'm sorry if that like bothers you, if you're like, oh wow, I wish you would have included something from our drugstore. I get it, but just if you're the type of person like me that you really are curious, there is another option out there. I will leave that company. It's not sponsored or anything, but I will leave them listed down below. So if you're like me and you're curious about that, I just wanted to put it at the beginning. Everything else is available here, of course, but I just wanted to put that in here if you were curious. Now, based on my most recent favorites video, which I will link right up here, I know everyone is expecting me to go in with my L'Oreal True Match. However, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit and I'm gonna go with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. This stuff is so good. As you can tell, I have 3 bottles of it because I like to mix my shades. I have 405, 410, and 420. And if memory serves, I was really loving the mixture of 405 and 420, I wanna say. So let's go ahead and take a little gander at those. So the first 2 right here, and I know what you're thinking, Paige, if you want to go mix those 2, why not just go in with 410? Ta-ta-ta. It's not that easy. It makes a horrible undertone for my skin. So let's go ahead here. I just want to mix these 2 up and make sure I like it. I am pretty sure that's the undertone I liked before and it was really nice and neutral. Yes, that's it right there. Okay, so 405 and 420 it is. Wow, Paige, you have made a mess already. Guys, like, look at what I'm doing in my life. What is happening? And I'm going to be applying this here with the e.l.f. Total Face and Body Sponge, which a lot of you guys actually said in the comments you were loving this sponge. And once I went through, which I first used this in a drugstore first impressions, which I will link up here. Once I went through, because in that video I had an issue with it, it was like shedding little purple fibers from it. But I went through and I washed it 2 times and that made a big difference. So I just wanted you guys to know I have been using it and it's working pretty well. Oh, and also for those of you that are going to be curious, these little cute adorable earrings, I actually got these at Walmart recently. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably went shopping with my mom and I this past weekend. We were at Walmart, we got some cheap jewelry, and we picked her out some sunglasses. It was super cute, super fun. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should be. It's all listed down below. And that's where I got these from and they were $2.88. I was like, I need you, thank you. Okay, Okay, so now it's time for concealer, and I have their Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I have it in 2 shades, 330 and 320. It looks like porcelain and ivory, and it looks like the main difference between these two is going to be the undertone. So that right there is 320 porcelain. This one, which has obviously a lot more of a yellow undertone, this is 330 ivory. Now, I actually think based on the color of this foundation, it's probably going to be a mixture of both. Let me mix them together here. Yeah, that actually looks like it would work pretty nicely. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in with a little bit under each eye. So I went ahead and I tucked 320, which is the lighter shade, up closer to the bottom of my eye. Now, as far as this concealer goes, obviously I've used this a lot before as well, and I don't like, it's not my favorite concealer. I do think that since I used it, my under eye has changed a little bit, so I'm excited to test it out again. But as far as a drugstore concealer, I think it's good. It's not my favorite. I'd have to say the e.l.f. Full Coverage Concealer is my favorite for drugstore. I think that that is such an amazing concealer. Now, this one does give you very nice coverage. I don't have anything against it in that respect. You can definitely see a difference. But for me, it's just the way that it sits on my under eye. It's not the most flattering, but again, I am open to testing it out again and seeing if I like it. So that's why I like to do videos like this as well, just to see if anything changes. And then I think I'm going to take the shade 320 here and just use that to lightly highlight the rest of my face. And now we're here to powder, and I picked up the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect Loose Setting Powder, and I've never actually tried this before, which I was pretty excited about. This is in the shade 916 Translucent. So I'm going to go ahead here. I have my Marc Jacobs The Conceal Brush at the ready, packed full of product. You can see it right there. First things first, I got to re-pat out this under eye very, very lightly, because y'all know my under eye creases instantly. Then we're going to just apply some of this, and I really have to pack it into my under eye bags. Now, the rest of my face, I can be a little bit lighter with powder, but these under eyes, girl, they require immediate set attention, and it better be beasties. So I'm just working a little bit of that powder lightly here into my powder puff, and I'm going to go ahead and lightly set the rest of the face. Guys, I'm pretty sure this powder has like a little bit of a smell to it. Like, yeah, kind of like, oh, like a light little grandma smell. Oh, it kind of smells nice. It's kind of giving me light perfume mixed with baby powder type situation, that type of an old grandma smell, but like not in like a bad stinky mothball grandma kind of way. Like the good, the nice, the sweet little grandma. All right, so next up I'm going to move into brows, and I'm so excited because now we're going to have another little chat about something I have loved for a long time. This is their Brow Stylist Definer Ultra Fine Brow Shaping Pencil. This is in the shade Brunette, and I was such a huge fan of these pencils back in the day. Let me just tell you, they are so good for a drugstore option. They are right there, and it's just so nice. The way that it goes on and applies to your brows, it's easy to feather through, super easy to work with. I really like it. It's super malleable and very easy to use. Now, for today, however, while I was at the store picking up my $2.88 earrings, yes, I decided I wanted to see if they had another option, because for those of you that are new here or new-ish here, you have seen me use a lot of my Urban Decay Double Down Brow. This is a brow powder. I've also used brow powders from other brands like Profusion. I've used them from Shop Miss A. I did a full face of $1 makeup, which I will link up here, and I just have had such a nice time and experience with powder brows lately, and so I wanted to see if I could recreate that with L'Oreal. So I found this, and it is their Brow Stylist Prep and Shape Brow Kit. It's in the shade 386 Light to Medium. Now, for those of you that are like, Paige, look at your hair, girl. Why'd you get light to medium? Maybe because there was no medium to deep. I was like, what is going on? Why is this, like, there wasn't even a spot for it. I'm like, how is this not, I don't know. Guys, I get more and more confused by Walmart with every passing day, but I'm here to tell you, I'm going to make this work come hell or high water. It looks like it comes with this tiny little pair of tweezers, a tiny little spoolie, which is going to be absolutely useless to me. Like, look at what are my massive man hands going to do with that? Like, can you please explain to me what is happening here? Like, this would get lost under my fingernail. Absolutely not. Get out of my face. But these are the powders, and it looks like you have a wax, I would say, and then an actual brow powder. The wax feels kind of stiff. It actually, okay, it has some color to it. Okay, not bad, actually. Wow, okay. And then this is the powder. Feels very nice and creamy. Very light in pigmentation. Not bad. Now, along with this brow kit, I also picked up their Brow Stylist Boost and Set, which appears to be like their version of a brow gel. And this one I was able to get in dark brunette, $4.90. So this one they did have in more than one color. So I think we're going to start off with the powder. Let's start moving that through the brow. And then we'll go in, maybe do a little defining, like I said, with the pencil, and then throw some of the gel into brow and just see if we can make this all look a little bit cohesive, see if we can make it work, test all the products. All right, so it took a second. We got here, and I'm not mad at where I ended up. I definitely struggled a second, but that was not the products, that was me. I had a little bit of a mishap on my brow, but we're good, we're back, things are happening. I love the way they worked out, and the powder, I actually have to say, is really, really nice. I feel like if it was in my correct shade, I think it would be a little bit better, but even if I wanted like a nice light brow day, I actually really like the shade of this, and it did build up okay. Now, the one thing I wanted to, like I told you, I'd be spilling the tea in this video, what I think of L'Oreal. Y'all, their eyeshadow palettes, not my game. Like, I've tried, they have failed, it is not my jam. But I did go ahead and pull something else that I really enjoy that is also for the eyes, which are their Infallible paints. Now, these are so good. They are little metallic shadows, and I have a couple different shades. They are so beautiful. They apply to the lid stunningly, and I really enjoy them. This is like a light pale pink. This is in the shade 400 Rose Chrome. My favorite one out of all these is the shade 408 Aluminum Foil. One swipe and just look at that. It is so beautiful. And again, the way that these apply to the lid, they work beautifully. These work the way that I wished all of their other eyeshadows work. Even the ones like in their long black palettes they have, they're just not very good. I don't find that the pigmentation is right on those. I feel that they are very dusty and chalky. The way they apply to the lid is next to none, and they're very difficult to build up color on. Now I do have one more shade. Look at that. This is in Caged 404. Again, one swipe, bam, look at that. Super beautiful. The way they apply, super silky, very smooth, very nice. But one of the things I wanted to mention, like I said at the beginning of this video, was I wanted to talk to you guys about repurposing items you already have, which is something that I'm very passionate about. Hence, again, one of the reasons I wanted to pull as much as I had from my own collection. Now, my first thought was, well, if I don't really like their eyeshadow palettes, what do I have that I could use in place of that? And I happened to find this guy right here, which is their Chromatic Bronze Highlight and Contour palette. This guy right here, super beautiful, very creamy, and I went ahead and I swatched it, which I'll show you that here in just a second. But I really love the shades in here. They are so beautiful. But as you can tell, like this bronzer right here, girl, not my bronzer, will never work on my skin tone. But I love this palette, and these highlights right here are so creamy and so beautiful, and I love it. So then I was like, okay, while I was at the store, I wanted to pick up something else and have a little chat. So this is their Lumi Glow Nude True Match kit right here, and obviously you can tell, much lighter, very much so something that would traditionally work for my skin tone. And I bought this, well, I bought this because I wanted to show it to you, and I wanted to show you the difference between these two palettes. So I'm going to give you guys the swatches. Bam. So this is the first one I talked about, the really beautiful one with the bronzer that will never work for me. But look at how beautiful and reflective and stunning those highlights are. Now let me turn my hand, and you can barely see this row right here. These are absolutely atrocious. That is this nude kit right here. Of the two, I would never recommend this one in 1,000 years. Again, I re-grabbed it for today's video just so I could show you guys the comparison, because I didn't want to talk positively about this one and then have everybody run out and grab the one that was good for their skin tone, because what if this works for you and you're like, Paige, this is awful. Yes, this one is no good. This one is absolutely beautiful, stunning, life's a dream over here, but I do not like this one. The nude version is no good. So for today's video, all of this coming back to eyeshadow, I thought, you know, if I don't like their eyeshadows, I think this would make an absolutely beautiful eye look. And to do that, I am going to lay down my Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige, and that's just because I know this works on my lids. Again, I wouldn't have any issues going in with their concealer and doing it, but I know it's not going to work on my lids, and I want to be as fair as possible. So I'm going to go in with this and lay down a little bit on both of my eyeballs. Pretty sure I'm the only person in the country that hadn't heard that one song by Billie Eilish, that Bad Boy or Bad something, and now all I hear in my head is like, that's all I hear, and there no words going with it, just the beat, and that's not even a really good version of the beat. But do you think I can unhear that? Nope. And that's all I have on repeat in my head. So if you were wondering what I'm sitting here thinking about, that's what I'm thinking about. All right, so I'm going to start off here by going in with my BH Studio Pro 16 brush. Now this is a very, very large fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with this bronze shade right here and then kind of start fluffing it through. Now I'm mainly going to keep the color on the outer portion of the eye right there, but I just want to lightly fluff it through the crease ever so gently. Okay, so brown through the crease. Now we're going to grab our NYX Glitter Glue here, and we're going to apply this to the larger portion of the eye. And I'm trying to think out of the shades, I actually think I want to take the pretty deep bronzy one right here, and I want to lightly kind of place that on the back half of my eye with my finger. Ooh, she pretty, girl, yes. And then on the inner portion of the eye, I'm going to take this really nice light shade out of the palette. I'm going to use that to meet up with that dark brown and just lightly kind of blend those two shades together with my finger and create a very nice even fade. I really love how pretty that is. It's a very nice light eye. Repurposing products we already have. Super pretty. Now, of course, we could have also went in with this rose gold metallic shade, which is on the bottom of my hand right there, that really nice light pink shade. But I wanted to just go in with something really soft today, and I mainly pulled these just to show you guys, like, if I have to recommend something from their shadows, it would be something more like this. Okay, guys, so I figured I should go ahead and remove these swatches while we move on, but love the eye look. Nice, light, bright, airy. And I think it's time to get something on this face, because y'all, I couldn't figure out why I was looking quite so pasty. And your girl ain't got no bronzer on. What is going on? I tell you what's going on. Diet Coke Light Ice McDonald's. That's what's going on, honey. So speaking of bronzer, something I have loved from L'Oreal for a hot minute now, this is their Lumi Bronze-It from their True Match collection. I have this in the shade 01 Light, but it's a really, really beautiful bronzer. She is right here in swatch. It has a very nice light luminescence to it. It's nothing overbearing. I'm going to be applying this yet again with my IT Cosmetics blurring powder brush. I don't think they make this, but any loose duo fiber or any brush you use for bronzer is fine. I will say, if you are on the fair side, definitely be mindful with this bronzer, because it can go onto the skin and be a little bit harsh. So I like to let it very, very lightly touch and graze the face. I'm applying little to no pressure with this. I'm holding the brush at the very, very end, which inherently takes away a lot of the pressure that you will feel or give in application when applying a product. And I'm very lightly just kind of running it along that edge right there and building it gently. Also, I just looked in the monitor and I was like, Paige, could you look any more relaxed while you're putting on your bronzer? I'm like, yeah. What's going on? How do you guys, how do you feel about this bronzer? What do you, I mean, like, what's going on? I'm gonna just bronze while I like kick back. Like, Paige, how about you sit up? What's wrong with me? And for blush, I pulled two of my favorite blushes from them. If y'all been here for a minute, you know what they are. The L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted blushes. I think these are so freaking gorgeous. I have them in two shades. Here they are in swatch. This is Just Curious, and then the other one is Charming, which is this deeper shade. I think with the eye look I have going on, I think I want Charming. It's deeper in color, but I think it'll look really pretty with that undertone up against the eye. I think it'll look really pretty. So for blush, I'm going to be using the Morphe E4. This is an amazing blush brush. I love it so much. And I'm, like I said, going to go in with the shade Charming right here. And I'm going to go very, very light because this stuff is super intense. And so I'm just going to kind of tap. Oh yeah, like literally one tap. Boom. So, so good. So I'm just going to tap it off. Boom, boom, boom. Hit the cheeks a little. Such a beautiful shade. Now, normally at this point, it does look a little bit intense. I go in with my JH01 brush and a little bit of my Hourglass Ambient palette here. These are all the shades. I just like to kind of wish it through. And any finishing powder you have will work. L'Oreal didn't have one, and this is my favorite finishing powder. You can obviously use whatever you have on hand, or this might not be a step you like to take, and that's fine too. So now it's time to spray the face, and I use this one in my Full Face of Walmart makeup, which I will link up here for you guys. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Set and Spray Makeup Extender Setting Spray. And let me, okay, actually I'm going to spray before I talk. I learned my lesson. Fan is at the ready here. Let's do this. Now, I can't really speak to this extending the wear of my makeup so much because I haven't noticed that, but I like the fact that it doesn't take it to one extreme or the other. It doesn't make me too matte. It doesn't make me too glowy. It doesn't do anything over the top. It just sprays onto the face. It doesn't have an overwhelming fragrance, and it kind of presses everything in, which is really nice. Again, I'm just not too sure I love the price of this, but nonetheless, we're going to move on. So now it's time for highlight, and y'all are probably like, well, Paige, you have these two palettes. You don't like this one. This one's too deep for your skin tone. Girl, what are you going to use? Well, I picked up a new product. This is is from their Lumi True Match collection as well. It is their Powder Glow Illuminator Blush and Highlight. Looks a little something like this, and my little pasty ass is thinking I might like this shade right here. It feels kind of soft, but I'm not getting much of a payoff or pigmentation from it. That's a little concerning. I'm gonna swatch, or try to swatch, the 4 different areas right here. Wow, this has the worst possible, literally the exact same pigmentation as this awful little palette here. Cool, I'm so excited. I'm gonna grab my Sigma F06 powder sweep brush here, and I'm gonna go mainly into this light shade right here. And I'm really gonna collect a nice little hefty little chunkaroozy on my brush. Doop, doop, doop. I'm really getting some on there because I feel like nothing's gonna come off, but I'm gonna just lightly start kind of dusting this onto the cheek. Ooh, okay, it's not awful. I do think it being on camera is helping it quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie. In real life, it has a very powdery look to the skin that I don't love. But it is highlighting. Oh God, in real life though, it looks so chalky. Like super duper chalky, not good. At least on camera it looks nice though. It's more of a light glow to the cheek, I would say. I don't love that. I wonder what would happen, guys. I'm gonna try spraying the brush, so I'm just gonna take their spray here, 1 little spurts. I don't want it to be anything crazy, and then I'm gonna go back in to this highlight right here. I do feel like wetting it helps a little bit because it concentrates the highlight just a freckle, which is nice. Still not my favorite highlight though. All right, let's go ahead and lock all this in with the spray one more time. Okay, now something that they didn't have in the L'Oreal line, at least not that I could find, was a glowy spray. So I'm gonna take just a couple sprays of my Catrice Dewy Glow Setting Spray. All right, so now it's time for mascara, and oddly enough, I actually didn't repurchase any of these for this video specifically. I repurchased them, or I purchased them rather, for different reasons, and I'm just gonna run through them. So the first one I grabbed here, this is their original Voluminous Mascara. This is just a great mascara in general. It is one of my favorites from the drugstore, and they were buy one, get one half off. So at the same time, I purchased this guy, which is the Voluminous with a curved wand, and I was like, girl, never used this before, better check it out. And then about 2 weeks ago when I was at Walgreens, I picked up this Unlimited Lash Mascara here, and this is the one with the really weird handle. I have tried this before. I liked it, but I repurchased it for a couple of reasons. One, the original that I purchased, I felt like it dried out really quickly. Like maybe used it for a week or two and then it was dry. And I was like, that doesn't sit right with me. But at the time I had so many mascaras, I didn't want to buy more. So I went ahead and I repurchased this as part of the Walgreens. I think they were doing a buy 2 get 1 free. And I was like, why not give it a go and see if we like it. So what I'm going to do is I think on this side, I'll go in with this one. And then on the other eye, I'll go in with the original Voluminous, but with the curved brush. I do not know what is happening, but like this is so clumptastic that it will not let me get this lash right here. It's just gripping to every other lash. Okay, how about we just like take a break from that one for a second and we try the other one with the curved mascara. Let's try that one. Maybe it's just my lashes. I don't know what is going on. The difference in just the first coat and a half of mascara is ridiculous. How much easier the original mascara formula is to deal with versus this one over here, the Unlimited. All right, guys, so I changed my camera battery. It's time to do some lips, and then, honey, we are done. This lip formula right here is really nice, super thin, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this straight, no lip liner, and y'all are gonna see it's gonna go great. I'm nervous because I don't know about this color, but it's gonna go great. I like how I'm like, it's gonna go great, and then I get nervous. Okay, let's just do it. So this shade doesn't build up as well as the other shades, but it does build up pretty nicely. And I actually think I like the color of this one because it doesn't build up a lot, which I know sounds really weird, but I feel like the way it sits on the lips is really pretty. Okay, you guys, this is the finished look. What do you think? Full face of L'Oreal, yes or no? I told you what I loved. I told you what I didn't love so much. I want to hear from you guys down below. What do you think? What are your favorite things from L'Oreal? And also, what are your favorite videos that you're looking forward to in my full face of series? I will tell you, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but a full face of e.l.f. is going to be coming very, very soon. So you definitely want to subscribe and make sure your notifications are on, because that's going to be a super fun video. I ordered a bunch of stuff from their website, and I did hear you guys because I took a poll probably a month or two ago of what you guys would want to see a full face of, and I heard a lot of ColourPop. And you want to know what's funny, guys? I have so much ColourPop, like it is painful the amount of ColourPop I have. And do you think to save your life I had all of a full face? No. could not find, to save my existence, a bronzer. So one is on order. I think that was that and one other thing I was missing, but that video will also be happening. So leave me down below, what is it you guys want to see? What are you excited about? Or if there's any other new products that are launching, any videos you want to see in general, leave them all down below. And if you haven't done so yet, while you're down there leaving me those comments, don't forget to scuttle on up to that description box. Check me out on Instagram and on Twitter because they're both listed down below. And days like this past weekend where I picked up these cute little earrings that I just love how cute they look on camera. They're so adorable and they're just like little baubles and I'm just like, ooh, I just want to like play with them like a cat plays with string, you know, like just do do do. Anyways, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me picking these out as well as hanging out with my mom and just being a super fun, adorable person out in real life, like not always just me checking in here. Sometimes every once in a while, I leave my house. I'm on Twitter every once in a while, but mainly it is Instagram. So check that out. And if you haven't done so yet, also make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notifications here on the wonderful world of YouTube because hello, I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're new here, they go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan, and girl, it is fun, it is funky, it is fresh, and you should always make sure you stay to the end of the video because I put bloopers up at the end. So if y'all have been cheating yourselves out of my bloopers, don't do that. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. There is something in my nose, something in my nose. I think it's a cat hair up my nose. When I put this sweater on, I was a little cold. Now, well, now I'm about ready to sweat my ass off. Oh, hormones are fun. Love my purple lip. Love my purple lip. Love, 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 love my purple lip. Why is the oh my god, I didn't change the battery. I'm like, how is the battery almost dead? I haven't even started. Well, maybe it's because you didn't change it. Duh. My leg is stuck to the chair. Okay. Still stuck to the chair. Okay. Excuse me. Oh my god. My poor legs. My poor legs.